Except
What
my
it
brother.
do? What it do? What it do?
What's going on?
Going on?
Are you nice, dog? How was your
Chilling,
weekend,
bro.
man?
I'm chilling. The weekend was good. Um, chilling, rain, football, controversy, mainstream pundits. The usual.
Controversy. Yeah, a lot of controversy, actually.
Yeah. How was your weekend, homie?
Hey, man. Uh, I didn't get all the results I wanted, unfortunately, but can't complain. A win is a win, although we we cut it extremely tight. 3 points is 3 points, so hey, I guess it counts, huh?
You're a happy man.
I'm a happy man. I'm not happy that Haaland didn't score, but I'm happy that we won still.
Yeah, I'm sure 73% of fantasy league managers are like, oh my gosh, what did we do?
My man.
me,
Now
me included.
imagine Archer from Southampton got more points than him, and
Dog.
Southampton lost.
Yeah, they did. So, which begs the question that a lot of mainstream pundits have been saying since last season. Obviously, they were questioning whether Haaland is a big game player. Is he only scoring hat tricks and things like that against small teams and things like that? And then now, um, from this past weekend, the question is he making an effort? Yes, Man City's style of football, they don't pin the ball in there, they don't play the ball behind. They rather want to, play as much as possible, create holes, then, play through you. So a few mainstream pundits have been saying that he's not making an effort to run behind to show that he wants the ball. If the ball is with Savinho on the left, like in the second half, he doesn't go in there and show, make a run in the box, show that, yo, if you cross it, I'm there, I'm going for it. Um, I don't know. What's your take?
Ish, man, it's tough, man, because he did this last season as well. Where like
Yeah,
where like he started with a banger, or the beginning was great, and then he had a period where he just didn't score. Like it just didn't happen. And considering, I think the expectations were higher this season because he had that period where he didn't do anything during the like off season. So like the summer transfer window, that side he did. He didn't have any competition. He was resting and was saying, "Oh, he's in the best shape of his life, etc., etc." So I think people took that as, "Oh, best shape of your life equals goals," you know. So now it's like, "Hey, my man, what now? Two game weeks, like Nick, like zero." And it's like, "Hey, my man, now we're waiting for Cavadiol to just to hit a banger there, top corner, like." What
Ish.
what's what's going on? So um,
Do
I
you think
mean,
do you think the style of football that City plays sort of okay, we are into the football now, like we're into the
yeah,
technical part of it, right? So do you
yeah.
think the style of football that City plays complements his style of play as a center forward? Because obviously, yes, he's big, he's strong, he can hold the ball. Well, not really. He's 50-50 there, holding the ball. 50-50 for me in terms of headers and all of that. I think he still needs a lot of work. But what I think he's strong on is running behind, using his strength to pull those defenders when there's a through ball, etc. Do you think City's style of play is stifling his true potential? I mean, if you compare to him at Dortmund, for example.
No, I don't think it's stifling his potential. I think that's a bit of a reach, to be honest. I think it's more of he comes from a certain type of football, but he's been around in England long enough, and specifically Pep long enough, I think, to where, and he's won enough leagues. He's already won a league, right? Where and top goal scorer and all those nice things. But I think maybe it's an issue. There's a consistency problem, and I don't know where it lies. It could be technical. It could be technical where that style of play doesn't suit him because a lot of the time he'll be alone in the center. But the benefit is that he has his Dokus and Savinos who can overlap and make magic, right? And then he's also got very very high pressing, attacking defenders being Cavadio, being Stones, Rodri when he's back, defensive midfielder, but he'll be at the edge of the box and stuff like that. So I think he's got a lot of support. But if and when he finds himself in a position where he's like he's alone, if it's a straight up out muscle, let's out muscle the defender. I mean, he'll out muscle almost any defender. Almost any defender in the world he'll out muscle. But now you're saying if it's holding the ball, protecting and stuff, yeah, occasionally does it pretty well if he passes back and then they push forward. But like a turn far, we haven't seen that from him. Where ball, quick turn, we've seen it. We've seen a glimpse of it. We have seen it. I'm not saying we haven't, but maybe the style of play requires a lot more involvement from the middle, which is why he'll get a lot of tap-ins, and especially if he plays against the team that has a lot of like a West Ham, for example, that has they have a bit of a high press, but they can also drop back pretty well. It's quite difficult for him to score against West Ham if it's not on the counter, for example, from what we've seen, right? So it's like he needs that fast break. I think he needs, because we've seen him run the whole pitch. It's crazy, right? We've seen those clips where he bullets and it's like all the way to the end of the box. He needs that high end fast pace. The slow build up, I don't know if that's his style, man. I don't know that's his style. And the nice thing with City is that they can do both. Right. But then the games where he scores a hat trick is like, bro, it's flying. Foden is weaving through in the middle. Savinho, boom, crossback. Grealish, he goes, commits a foul. Then by the time the players want to pass back, is a quick pass, boom, Cavadio, and then Haaland goal, whatever. And it's like, okay, cool. I think that's more his style, very fast paced. Like, for example, my personal opinion, if he was at Madrid, for example, he would score a lot more goals than he does at City, which is
because their attack is a bit more pacey.
When Bellingham, it's you just go. The point is to score. So whether it's Vinicius, whether it's Rodrigo, whether it's Bellingham, whether it's even Tchouameni, Tchouameni will get the ball in the middle. He won't even waste time. Long ball, let's go. Let's push. So I think that type of fast-paced, aggressive attacking is beneficial to him. But Pep or Man City can do both, right? If needs be, control the game, keep it calm, and then that's when you'll get a Kovacic brace when the game is being played in the middle, and at edge of the box, 2 attempts, he scores both, the game is done. Or with him, he needs that fast-paced, fast break. Doku gets the ball beaming down the line. He's there in the front. He's causing problems. The defenders don't know what to do because 2 defenders are not stronger than one of him. So now who do you cover? There's panic, and then as you see, there's other players that can attack with him, and then he gets that support. Ball comes to him, he finishes it, and then it's an easy goal. So right, but then at the same time, like you're saying, it's not consistent when we see him do that by himself. He's done it, but not as much as he did at Dortmund. So I think it's more of that adapt. He has to adapt to both styles of play because they'll switch it during the game, right? We can start off fast paced, go for it, potentially score or not, and then
there was literally one ball that they played behind the defenders.
Exactly.
I think he passed it
So,
to, was it Savinho or someone on the left, but that was the only pass behind, and you could see that he was relishing that. So I'll take you back to, there was a game last season played, I don't remember against who, but it was an away game, right? And just before halftime, I think City were one man down, and Bernardo
okay.
Silva got the ball in the midfield, right? And there was literally, like, I think everyone in the world could see that there's a gap here for Bernardo to play through so that Haaland can score and then they can be 2-0 up or something like that, and relax, right? But Bernardo decided to keep the ball because it was like 1 minute or something, a few seconds to halftime. So he kept the ball because probably he thought, if I lose it, we're gonna get back under pressure and it's almost halftime. So let's just, keep the ball, go to the break, and then come back. But then Haaland was so angry because literally, I mean, I was angry for him myself
Yeah.
as a number nine, because I'm like, what the hell are you doing? That's a clear cut pass that I'm through, and I will finish it, and it's 2-0 and game set match. Second half, we come back, we keep the ball because that's what we do, and we're done. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, Pep, I remember Pep. Um, Spoke to him quite a bit about that incident as they were walking. I think it was Fulham. Yeah, I don't remember. So they were walking to the changing room, and Pep was actually talking to him about it, that he shouldn't be mad because Bernardo was keeping the ball. And I'm like, dude, which would you rather do? Keep the ball or go 2-0 up and then be able to consolidate in the second half? So I, I mean, yeah, I just think, I mean, some people are already starting to say that Man City is boring, and that takes me back in the Barca days when Pep won everything that could be won. I think it was
Yeah.
2006, and we were already saying then, like, oh, Barca is so boring. Oh my gosh, they always winning though. We always know how they're gonna play. It's gonna be that tiki taka. It's gonna go to Messi, Iniesta, Xavi. So he's built that kind of thing here with City, where they're very slow in their build up, very measured. Some people are saying they're afraid to go all out because they don't want to concede more. Because obviously, as you've seen, they've been conceding first in the past, what, 4 or 5 games.
Bro.
So is it a case of, okay, they've reached their bar, right? And they have to find a way to break through that and get to another high level. I don't know how, whether it's playing differently or adjusting to parking, or teams parking the bus, or
I
using
think
Haaland differently, that kind of
mm,
thing.
I think the best possible starting lineup, including KDB, including Rodri, is that for Haaland.
So the fact that
So
he's missing Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri, those are the two guys that would more often than not look for him at any given time, and that's what he misses, right?
and and for example, so we're talking about fast break. There's very few people who can pass like Kevin De Bruyne, as we've seen for the past, you know,
8 years.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
close to a decade.
Yeah.
So, and we've seen some of those passes he pulls off. So it's like, and having your Fodens who are also not afraid of getting tackled, and now you've got Savinho, who I think, and Doku, who are perfect for both sides, and the fact that they can interchange the wings is brilliant. But I think if it were to be, for argument's sake, let's say 4-3-3, it was Haaland in the middle, Savinho on the right, Doku on the left. You've got Rodri, you've got KDB, and you've got Foden, right? Let's say it's an attacking team. That is the ideal, and you can obviously swap out with Bernard Silva, you can swap out Grealish, you can swap out with Nunes, you can swap with Kovacic, but that's if that team starts, I know Haaland's going to score, or the amount of goal opportunities increases just because of that nature of the players, and they work well with fast passing, tiki taka, right? They work well with that, KDB can launch a ball, Savinho can hold it, he can dribble, he can run pass it back, like Rodri just bulldozes through you, gets that ball, brings it back to the front, right? But Pep knows that now without those guys, when they're not playing, Kovacic can't pass like that. Don't get me wrong, he can pass a ball, but
he doesn't see those Kevin De Bruyne passes.
Those Kevin De Bruyne passes. Nunes doesn't have that engine like Rodrigo does, like Rodri does, and so I think he's forced to play differently. He's forced to play differently, which then affects Haaland's style of play, which is why a lot of last season, if you remember, even the season, a lot of people, when KDB got injured, people were saying, is Haaland going to score? Because we associate Haaland's goals with KDB's ability to find him. Because,
right. But now, okay, let me be devil's advocate here a little bit. Having watched yesterday's game, especially, there were moments where I felt like, okay, let me put it this way: if it's me, right, I will do as much of availing myself as possible. Firstly, to stay in the game, right, to remain focused and at a high tempo and all of that, but also to show my teammates that you don't have to always just try and play through. I can come short, I can come wide, I can play a wall pass, I feel like his non-activity exacerbates the talk of he's not as good enough, and because he's like a parcel, right? Yes, granted, in front of goal, if he gets a chance, he'll score. But that sense of, hey, I'm here, even if he doesn't do anything with the ball, even if he just passes it back, that presence that he demonstrates can almost tell his teammates, oh, okay, so I don't necessarily have to always try and look for a ball behind. He can come short, pass me one. We can play a 1-2. You know what I mean? I just feel like he's too reserved for a center forward of that caliber up front.
Fair enough. I think, again, to me, I think we agree. It's all about tactics. When it's the type of game or the period of the game where it's literally forward. We know that's his fate. We know that's his favorite. Let me say that's where we're used to seeing Haaland just getting that ball and running and causing problems. And then when it's not that type of game, and he needs to come short, or they need to play from the back, or there are some games where you'll see him even defend. Those ones. There are some games where you'll see him at he supports whatever. Those really big games or very intense games, but yeah, I think he just maybe it's. I mean, I'm speculating, and I'm a City fan, so I mean, I can say this, I guess, but I think he's. I think he was spoiled. He's definitely been spoiled, right? Because my man, I'm sorry, if you've got possibly the best center attacking midfielder on the planet as your teammate, bro, like this, and especially when you play with them weekly, you get so used to being like, okay, I know such and such has the ball here. I must be ready to get behind. I must be ready to, because when he gets that ball, he's gonna find me. And when
it's already telepathic, yeah.
It's just the system, week after week after week after week after week, and then all of a sudden it breaks. Now you have to adapt to something different. It's not impossible, obviously, because I mean he still scores when KDB's not playing. Of course, he still does score, But you can, like you're saying, you can see that he kind of comes off as reserved. He's not. He's always just on the line.
Oh. Hmm.
Occasionally he'll come towards the halfway to get the ball, but especially if he's frustrated. But usually he doesn't. Usually he will, boy, he will be on the A. That those defenders can't push. He's gonna be there. He's right
Yeah,
there,
he's there on
wait
that last line. Yeah, yeah.
on that last line, waiting for that ball to come. Because when that ball comes, he won't be offside. That's the one thing that's great about him, is that he knows how to stay on the line. So I think it's just an adaptation thing that possibly comes with time, and naturally when we get a different coach and stuff, all the players will have to adapt to a new style and stuff like that. But like you're saying, I think a mark of a great of an unbelievable striker is when they need to adapt, when it happens, how well do they do it? That's all. So it's like, when conditions are perfect, do you perform? Yes, you do. Fantastic. But on the off chance that the player's injured, he gets subbed off. The coach could just say, "No, I'm gonna rest him." 60 minutes, he gets subbed off. Okay, now it's a different guy. Are you able to take that
Just
shift and be like, okay, I can't expect this ball as frequently anymore in this way. Let me let me suss it out. Let me see how we do. So I think it's an adaptation thing from his side, plus the natural changes within every team that you play against, stuff like that. But I think I think it's just adaptation that comes with time. I think it comes with time to know. Okay, you know what? I need to also know when to expect something, because of I know who I'm playing with, and I'll have to maybe adjust my style. Now everyone is different. It doesn't mean he'll be the same quality in a different style, because everyone has their best, right? That's not a problem. But like you're saying, are you able to at least show, like, okay, no, this is not his preferred way of playing. There's no, maybe you know, maybe he's used to the balls cutting between defenders. Now they're playing high ball, right? Now they're playing a bit of a long pass. Can you adapt to that if necessary? Or maybe they're crossing a lot. Can you adapt to that? Or maybe you have to stay at the edge of the box. Maybe you'll have to confuse, maybe drop back, false nine. People think, oh, Foden's goes to him. Can he hit them from range? And it's just adaptation. But I think it comes with time, and also um uh if he's given, and the team is given that freedom to kind of think outside the box as well.
all right.
That's my
No, that's
that's
cool.
my opinion.
That's cool. Yeah, man. Damn, we literally jumped into a Haaland hot take. What is going on?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Hot
Okay.
hot topic.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Hopefully we get some comments for those who are watching. I'm not even sure who's watching, but we'll see as episode goes on. We'll get some notifications on some chats. Okay, so let's bring it back home. The biggest shock of the weekend. Some reason. I mean, I've always said.
What do you say, for some reason?
Yeah, I'm about to explain why I say that actually.
Okay. Okay.
the I've been hearing Pirates fans. Look, Pirates fans, any fan, right? They're entitled to believe in their team, and just like me. Oh, well, hey, okay, let's not talk about
Yes,
AC Milan.
yes, 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 yes.
but but essentially, every fan is entitled to believe in their team and to, especially when they're doing well and all of that, right? So, I've been hearing a lot of this thing with Pirates fans. Yeah, we taking Sundowns on, and okay, I don't know why it's about Sundowns, but anyway, we're taking Sundowns on, and we are the team to beat, and all of this stuff. And they come against the new kids on the block in the Carling, in the Carling knockout. Yes, it's a knockout. I mean, it could go either way. And they didn't necessarily have their what 18 um, um, in the game. But as I said on Friday's episode, it doesn't matter whether you're playing in the A team or the
Yeah.
second string team. At the end of the day, it is what it is. The vision is the same. You winning mentality and all of that, right? Maybe the
Hmm.
quality will change a little bit, but it's onto the guys that are put on to actually show that we actually are quality. So now, some Pirates fans are hiding their pain by saying, "Yeah, we're tired of playing all these cups and winning all these cups. Let them play." Type of setup. Um,
So
but
loser.
right, but I'm saying I'm not really shocked at the result because I didn't believe in the Pirates hype anyway coming into the season. Yes, they've got good players, but good players don't mean a good team, right? I
Ish.
mean, the Maswanganis of this world have been compared to Jomo, and obviously he crashed that like perfectly for me. Why? I mean, why are we overhyping? Just generally, why are we overhyping players that haven't actually showed us what they can? Yes, yeah, he's played good. I'm not gonna lie, he's a good player. He's played well. Deserves to be in the Bafana team, whatever. But I don't see anything. Look, there's something there, but for me, you have to show how special you are, right? If you're a Tito and you're revered and you're the one that makes the team tick. I mean, take Ace Manisa for example. When he was there, you knew. eh, Nobody had to tell you that this guy, when he has the ball, something's gonna happen. You knew. With Tito, you know, but is he gonna do something special for the team, or is he gonna do a little trick and then let the crowd be happy and then you know what I mean? And I know I'm quoting a lot of haters here by saying this because Tito is like,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody's like, oh, Tito, Maswangani. But I'm like, but guys, like, are we like, let's be serious a little bit. We watch football globally, right?
Yeah.
We don't only watch PSL, we don't only watch EPL, we don't only watch Champions League. I mean, we watch French League, Spanish League, German League, all of the stuff, right?
Saudi League, bro.
Saudi League, and we know, or we can see. I mean, a guy like Kevin De Bruyne,
Mm.
you know, when the guy touches the ball, you expect something special, right? So with Tito, I feel like fans feel like that. They feel like whenever he touches the ball, something special is about to happen, and then he doesn't do
Mm.
anything special. You know what I mean? For me, I think he needs to show us. He needs to show us. Why are people comparing him to Joma? He needs to show us, and he's like, I mean, Jomas did say like when he was doing all that stuff. I mean, he was like 17. How old is Tito? He's in his what, mid 20s, maybe.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I'm not bashing Maswangai. I'm not bashing him. Don't get me wrong, right? I'm just saying if you are that good to the rest of us, surely you can't just ride on that wave and play mediocre and average every and only choose when to do something special. You should consistently be trying to show us, right, that yes, I do deserve to have this reverence and this I don't know,
Attention and appeal.
attention,
And
and you know what I mean. I
mm.
mean, on set on this game with my Gacy, they were showing Tito. The cameraman was like always going to Tito. Whenever they went to the bench, the Paris bench, they were showing Tito, which is great, right? It shows that he has an influence in the team. But how big is that influence really, right? So that's my question. You
You
know what I
know,
mean? And that goes to all the special players we have in the PSL. You know, and I don't want to strike a nerve here, but
you've struck in many nerves, Chief.
I've struck it. Ne? Some look,
I
I'll go for Tembazwani, right? Tembazwani is a great player. He's and fair enough, he's in his mid 30s, right?
yeah.
But let's look at it, guys. If it was really that good, should he not have been playing overseas somewhere? I'm just talking in terms of ambition here. I'm not necessarily. I mean, these guys are really good, bro. These guys are really, really good. But somehow they can't get to the upper echelons of playing in the European Champions League, playing for a top six. La Liga team, Premier League team, Bundesliga team. You know what I mean? Yet here we call them magicians and gods of football, and like what are we really saying?
Thanks, my man. You know, I, yeah. I saw a video earlier today, where it was I forgot his name, but it's on Instagram.
Yeah.
And basically, so like Neymar's come back from injury for Al Hilal and stuff like that, right? And the video was
Sorry,
like,
sorry to cut you off there. We just got to chat. One of the subscribers says, "Shit happens, bro. We will be fine."
"Hey, bruh,
Hey, I guess, I guess.
fair
But yeah,
enough."
yeah. You can carry on. You can carry on.
So like they were saying that, in football there's kings, right?
Right.
Everybody wants to be the king. Some people, are potential kings.
Yeah.
Some people are aspiring kings. Some people, you just have to you just have to look them in the eye, and you're looking at the king, right?
Mm.
Every player is different. And then the guy was basically saying that Neymar is a king that hasn't gotten his crown yet, right?
Well, it's too late for that.
uh but what- hey man, I'm just referencing the video.
I mean, for me, I would agree with that comment in the sense that I've always believed that
Same. And
Neymar
I know
could
what you're
have
gonna
been
say,
the
and
world,
same.
bro.
Mhm.
He could be, he could have won. He could have literally taken over Messi and Ronaldo in terms of Ballon d'Or performances, goal scoring, entertainment, all of that jazz. I think he just got it. He got in his own way, or maybe his ego got in his way, right? But then another friend of mine who is a in his time he was like a dribbling magician, right? He said that uh he Neymar, it's not that he didn't reach his potential. He just chose. He just chose to like. How do I put it? It's almost like he dictated how he wanted to portray himself in front of the football world, and he played the way he played because yeah, that's how he wants to play.
Mm.
In my view, I'm like, dude, where's the ambition? You left Barca to get out of the shadow of Messi, to go and be
Yeah.
the main man at PSG. But when you got to PSG, you weren't the main man based on your performances. You were the main man because you wanted to take the penalty, you wanted to take the free kick, you wanted to take the throw in. You were falling all over the place. Like okay, your merchandise was being bought. You know what I mean? He didn't go there with the ambition to say, okay, I'm getting out of Messi's shadow because I want to win the Ballon d'Or and I want to show the world or the football world how good I really am, and I want to put myself in the same name as your Ronaldinho, all your Zidane, all the magicians we've seen over the years. You know what I mean? So it's the same argument I'm having with Tito and Mshishi and any
So
other player that we've regarded as a great footballer in the country.
so I was gonna get to that point of the kings thing, right?
Yeah.
There are players that we look at, and we can tell, like, no, they're climbing the ladder, basically, like they're getting there. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying, intrinsically we can be like, no, this guy's good. you
Yeah.
know even you can say she's this lady is a good footballer, right? Goes both ways. King, queen, goes both ways.
Mm.
But in this context of Tito, it's like, when you look at him, can you tell it's a king? Because when you look at Ronaldo, everybody knew this guy was special from a long time ago.
Mm.
When you look at me, like, there was no one, and the people that didn't think so were saying, no, Messi, oh, Ronaldo, oh, when they were younger, they're eating their words, and they've proven to the world that they're unstoppable for the past 16 years. They're untouchable, right? And then you've got again Zidane. You've got, I mean, even it's like Thierry Henry in his prime. You've got like, bro, I can't even. There's so many Cantona, Best. Even if you go like players that aren't even in that same like attacking, like Mike Horn at some point in his prime, that Brazilian defender, he was untouchable. Cafu was untouchable.
Until Gareth Bale.
Lucio, yeah, until that happened.
Yeah.
And then Lucio. I mean, that's a defender no one, Maldini. But there's so many places where you just see them and you're like, you know what? Yeah, no, this is something special. And then there are wannabes, right? There are wannabes. Now,
Okay.
I'm not I'm not saying he's a wannabe. I'm not saying that at all. Because I'm not saying that. That's what I was, I'm putting this out there. But what and this goes back to the base of all our conversations we usually have when it comes to PSR and stuff, which is standard.
Right. Right.
What what is our baseline? Is our baseline Doctor? Is it Jomo? Is it Benny? What's our baseline?
I was actually going to mention the likes of Benny and Steven Pienaar and
Mm,
Famasinga, Mark Fish, Lucas Khatebe, all those guys that went overseas, right? Classic
yeah,
example is a Steven Pienaar and a Benny. When Steven Pienaar went to Europe, he was undoubtedly the best attacking midfielder we had at the time,
yeah,
right? And he
I
showed
agree.
it, right?
Yeah,
Consistently so. It wasn't a case where everybody's like, wow, Steven Pienaar, Ajax Cape Town, what a player. And then he believed in the hype. He continued consistently, right? Went to
yeah,
Ajax,
yeah, yeah. But
Amsterdam.
that's personal ambition to want to
That's my
show the
point.
world and yourself that I am worthy of being in this category of
Of
playing with the
football,
best
of
at the
players,
best
yeah,
in the
yeah.
lights. Yeah, yeah. That's a
But that's my point.
yeah.
You
It's
know,
an it's a
with these
personal thing.
guys, with these guys that play, surely, man, I like, yo, okay, me as a footballer, dog, like, you want to play at the pinnacle.
Yeah,
Whether the pinnacle in South Africa is playing for Sundowns and playing in the Champions League, right? But once you reach there, you want to go further, right? You want to
yeah.
play
There's always more.
AFCON, win AFCON, right? You want to go to Europe, not play in some Swedish team or some Belgium team, or go on or get bought by a team and go on loan. Yes, I get we have to adjust to Europe, different environment, culture, and all of that stuff. I get it. I mean, that goes without saying, right?
Mm.
But your ambition, like ambition, dog. Like I
Yeah.
remember Kakiso Dukhatwe when he went to Fulham.
Yeah. The
He
cash. Yeah.
he said that when he got there, he realized he was big, right? Even when he was playing for Arrows here, he was big. But when he got to Fulham, he was big, but he realized that he needs to be more physical than what he was in the PSL, right? So he had to do a lot of
Mm.
gym work, physical conditioning work, right? And when he
Mm.
played for Fulham, you could see, okay, yeah, no, Kahisho looks it, he strong,
Mm.
center mid, bulldozes people, wins the ball, but he never really progressed, right? And part of the reason I think it's a long interview. It was long ago, but essentially it was the whole cultural difference, environment, all of that stuff. And normally, all those things that are outside of football that affect you. You miss home. You're there by yourself. There's no friends. You know what I mean. All those things obviously will affect your game, and your form, right? And I get that. But when you're sitting at home or in your apartment or wherever they live, right, and you're thinking, man, I'm in Europe. I could literally, if I stick it out, I could in the next 2 seasons, if I play well, if I win the coach's favor in terms of lineup, if I consistently perform at training, because you were there when Benson Mhlongo was in our guest list episode. He spoke about
Mm.
in training in Europe, there's cameras on every single player. That's
Yeah.
why a coach can say, player such and such did not train well. That's why he's not in the lineup, right? So you have all of this. I'm being watched by the coach, by the technical staff, by the club. You know, as much as even it doesn't matter whether you're a kid from the academy or whether you were bought, you are still an investment for the club. So the club obviously has vested interest in you doing well. So that's why they will monitor you, support you, give you everything that you need for you to prosper, right? So now you sitting by yourself and you've got all of these things and you're thinking about back home and you're like, man, surely something has to tick in you. Like, I have an opportunity here to actually do something that nobody has ever done, right? Playing for Barca, playing for Madrid, playing for Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Borussia. Okay, well, Steven Pienaar did end up playing for Borussia Dortmund. But I mean, how long ago was that? You feel me? And yes, I get when you say it's a personal ambition thing, but in the same breath, I also don't believe that these guys don't have ambition. I don't believe that Tito and Mshishi and Mofokeng and Lepasa and I don't know, Yusuf Mart
Mugwen and
and all I don't Mukwen, I don't believe they wake up every day and not have ambition. Otherwise, why are you performing the way that you're performing to the point where the nation thinks, wow, these guys are great, right? So I don't believe that
Mm.
it's not, I don't
Good point.
believe that it's personal ambition.
Mm.
There's just something mentally, right, that is not ticking to get them over that. All right, now I must go. I mean, look at Teko, for example. For me,
Mm.
by the time Teko was being punted to go overseas, I felt like this dude should have long gone. It's too late now for he was like in his mid-20s. Like when you're in your mid-20s and you come from South Africa and you go to Europe, dude, my man, you're gonna be competing with 21-year-olds. You're gonna be competing with who have more hunger, who've been there. So for me, I feel like we are exporting our players too late, or we were exporting our players too late. And secondly, I just feel like there's a sense of lack of ambition, but I don't think it's a personal thing where me as Tito wakes up and be like, yeah, I'll stick to Pirates. I don't really feel like going overseas. Or is it them being realistic about how far they can go in their career? Because sometimes that
Well,
could be the case.
well, again, that goes back. Is it personal? Because now, and you've made some good points. Because like now, what is your threshold, right? And only you can determine that from yourself. Now, of course, circumstances, culture, environment, right? They all play a role. But in terms of your ability to push for more, right? If you know first, that's why I say it starts with you. If you're like, hey man, me, I can play in the Premier League, bro. I watch the games. I see, I'm good enough. I know, I am for sure.
Hmm.
I mean, Benny is the only South African who's won the Champions League.
That's my point. That is
That's one
exactly
person.
my point.
Now,
That's one
do
person.
that's one person, and from what we've seen and what we see, there are many players who can win the Champions League who comes from South Africa. And I'm talking Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, Premier Leagues, La Ligas, like big guys, right? Very, very important guys. And it's, yeah, I think it also, I think it stems initially from, okay, do you see yourself, Premier League, final game of the season, you're playing for Liverpool, Man City, big club, Arsenal, whatever, and you have that I'm going to use your favorite abbreviation. If you have that BMT, right, in your head,
BMT,
and you're
Baba,
like,
BMT.
if you got BMT, and you're like, this is my chance, and I'm gonna go for it, right? And I need to show the world that, as much as, and naturally, and we know this, it happens all the time, especially Africa as a whole. Go to Europe, you you start to shine, and then they start to talk. Drogba, Ivory Coast, da, 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 da. He leaves as one of the greatest Chelsea players to have ever walked the planet. You know, SEN leaves one of the greatest midfielders ever.
And that's the thing. Other
You
other
know,
African footballers actually are able to do that. They're able to get over that line and actually show their true potential. So,
now
is it a
that
case?
goes to,
Yeah. I
so,
think I
so
know
you're
what you're
right.
gonna say, but go for it.
So that goes to my next point is now those countries and those people, generally speaking, across the board, when they choose to play football, like in Brazil, we hear football. It's this or that. Simple.
It's a lifesaver.
Football is my way out, if you will, or it's
Yeah.
my
Just
way.
like in
But
America, hip hop was a way out for a lot of black
exactly,
kids, or
exactly.
basketball was a way out for a lot
You
of
know,
black kids.
so if I get really good at this thing, like really good, I'm
I
gonna
can get
go.
out the slums.
I'm gonna go, right?
Yeah.
And then and because it's a big part of a lot of countries' cultures and sports and stuff. We know the stories. Some of these players, their parents moving to France, sacrificing everything, taking them to the football grounds, training them, and then they become great, whatever. There's different stories. But the thread, I think, is that, and again, and it's such a nuanced thing, hence why we're having this conversation. And I don't think we know the answer, which is why we're talking about it. But it's like, even here, there are people that they're going to football because that's the only way. If you come from a difficult
No,
place,
that one I disagree with, because if it was that way,
okay,
if it was that way, we could have been exporting a lot more footballers than we are, right? I just feel like in South Africa
okay,
we have too much choice.
life is soft here.
Footballers nowadays, they don't play football for, okay, well, look, don't cancel me. Disclaimer, all right? This is my view, nobody else's view. But I feel like footballers here, they have a choice, man. They play football because, hey, I want to look good. They it's what Gattuso said when he was coaching Milan, at some point, and he was coaching the kids, the Al Shawaris of the time. And he was like, these kids are focused more on their hairstyles than the actual football. And I feel that's the kind of you know what I mean? That's the kind of ambience or environment or atmosphere in South African football. These kids are too focused on how they look, and how more than showing their talent. They're interested more in the boot that they're wearing. you know
Yes.
it's the same boot that Cristiano wears. Okay, yes, we had that too, but we knew that boot is not going to make me play like Ronaldinho. I'm going to make me play like Ronaldinho
Mm,
if I'm really that talented. You know what I mean? I just feel like too soft, too. Okay, I don't feel like playing. Yeah, okay, I'll go today. Or a Rafael Leao type of attitude. Today, I'll fall the whole day. If somebody touches me, if I'm in front of goal, I'll try and put a back heel to look special. Like, what is like the mentality, man? It's not like when we, and don't get me wrong, it's not like we had we football for us was a survival. We also had choices: school, football, other sports, rugby, cricket, tennis, whatever, other careers and shit like that. But those of us who play football, we were really, really, really ambitious, and that's why a lot of us pulled through and got into the PSLs of the world, and from there, some of them went into Europe and all of that. Now we're exporting academy kids. more than we're exporting professionals. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And even in exporting those academy kids, how many of those academy kids are playing for the first team? Or have I mean, we've had kids go to European teams from ages of 17. Some of them are in their early 20s. I mean, I know there was one who was playing for Leicester. He was captain of the Leicester under 23 team. Where is he?
Really? Wait, literally, where is he?
Where is he? I saw a few seasons
Mm.
ago when Mourinho was he coaching Roma or some team, and it was in the preseason, and they were playing some team that had a South African footballer in there. I forgot his name, and that boy was
Was
good.
he?
He was good. He
What?
was like an Andy type of player, with a long
Okay.
overstep, and he was a center mid, but he was an 8, right? But where is he? You know what I mean?
Ish, yeah, good. Yeah, man. Ish,
They're not being called up to the national team. They're not being called up to the under 23s. Where are they? Like, what is it about our footballers that hits a brick wall when they're supposed to then, jump into the next level?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have an answer because it's again, it's like, I mean, for example, last season we had Lyle Foster
Yeah,
at Burnley, and that was nice to see. It's like, okay, cool. And
yeah,
then
they
who's
got
the other?
relegated.
Yeah, exactly. But then, and
So,
then
so
there's that
right there,
other.
before you go on to the other guy, right
Mm,
there, if Lyles Foster was really that good, surely he could have scored 10, 15 goals to help Burnley fight relegation. Yes, fair enough. There were some mental issues and some injuries, but I mean, bro, it's the Premier League. Yes, it's tough, but show your mettle, homie. Show yourself. We
hey,
revere you
man,
here in our country. Like, yeah, Lyle Foster is good, but where's the?
where's the?
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you,
Anyway,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Even
Continue.
even that even that other striker, he was in France. Is it Mutiba? No, is it Mutiba?
Muti, yes, yes, Muti, yes. He was
Hey, Muna.
such an orthodox, stocky,
Yeah,
stiff number
white.
9, but he
That
played
guy
in
was in.
France.
He was at Strasbourg, I believe. Was it
Yeah, I mean,
Strasbourg?
even before he came back.
Yeah, Zungu. Yeah, even Zungu. Yeah, in France as well. They were. Hey, my man.
But
I remember seeing the
soon
clip.
as he jumped, as soon as he jumped, he got stuck in Ligue 1. He never. Yes, okay, Stevie G got him there, and then he went to go party and shit, and then with
Ash,
some white girls, and then that didn't
ash.
turn out well. But point is, he was getting the progress that we expected from him, right? So I thought,
Mm,
all right, from Rangers, Stevie G, that's literally segue to Premier League right there. If you win the
mm,
Scottish League with Rangers and Stevie G, trust me, if Stevie G gets a job in the Premier League and you are one of his influential players, guess what?
come
You
through.
you understand?
Easy.
But somehow he also hit a brick wall to the point where he came back and played for the biggest team in the country, and he's still benched, mind you.
Yeah.
Tough.
Ash.
I know, like I'm literally, this is my own fucking hot take. I'm just saying though, like, I mean,
No,
we
no. And this is my point to your point is there are so many different things that could be part of the big picture where it's like, is it is it individual goals? Is it
right,
systematic uh, uh, red tape?
right,
Is it is it is it bias?
right.
Is it infrastructure? Is it ability? Right? Are you actually that good as well? Right? I guess that matters. Is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is it your ability to adapt? Right? And
Mm,
that's a real thing. And it's not just Africans. There'll be players from Europe who go to Madrid and flop because they can't handle it. It's just
right.
they just can't. So even though they're good enough, or per se they were good enough to get there, they get there and then they're like, the pressure, like how when I saw a clip of Thierry Henry when he was to ask him like, so how was it, when you joined Barcelona or whatever, and he said, you guys don't understand. Every week of every hour of every day, I'm paraphrasing,
Right.
like the Marsa, like the tabloids, if you play for Madrid or Barcelona, your life is telegraphed to the world.
Right. Right.
You are scrutinized to your first touch and your last touch if you play for
Mm.
one of those two teams, because of how important those teams are to the country. Forget about
Mm.
forget about your payslip and whatever, to the nation, and then subsequently to football. Right, Madrid is the
Yeah.
biggest football club in history, and Barcelona arguably is definitely in the top five, I would say. So it's like 5, 10, right? Definitely. So it's like you are playing for more than just, and they take for more than just the jersey. You're paying for a country. You're paying for a group of people, for a city, whatever.
I
And
mean,
it's
look.
and it's so much bigger than the sport. It's so much bigger than the sport, and the people take it that serious. I think there's that element of the fans take the football so seriously.
I
Like,
mean, we take
like,
football seriously, yeah. I mean, we burn stadiums if we really have to, you know.
I mean,
But I
I
mean,
mean, look,
one of the subscribers here says the parties and the baddies always
yes, the
derail me.
baddies, the
Hey man,
baddies.
look, I think, look, I get it. The parties and the baddies will always get you. We are human. I get that, right?
Mm.
But what's more important, the parties, the baddies, or your career?
You see, that's again to my point. That's all personal, Chief. I can only hope you say your career, but hey, man, if you're happy that what you're earning and what you're getting allows you to live a certain lifestyle, and that's always wanted you live, and you're happy in that lifestyle, and you never see yourself in the limelight of your career because now you're earning 200, 300, 400K. You're part of the big boys. You've got sponsorships. You've got the cash. Wherever you
Endorsements,
go,
yeah. We're a big
people
baller.
will rub your back, chief. And then you are comfortable. You're like, oh, I'm a man. I can do whatever I want. I'm good. Excuse me. You maintain. You, yeah. You stop yourself. Simple as that.
So you get in your own way, essentially.
Yeah, you get in your own way. You get in your own way, and I think for a sport or any sport that is as difficult as football, which is every sport is difficult, especially at the highest level. And we see this repeatedly across all sporting codes. The level of sacrifice you're willing to take determines your success. Simple. That's that
So I'm
that the that's the base of all success stories of any sportsman or sportswoman in any sport. How much were you willing to sacrifice? Whether that's, hey, I was like Thierry Henry. Hey, I think it was the interview on, I believe, Diver's CEO podcast. And he said, I think he was 12 or 13, left home, went to Paris, lived and breathed the training ground all the way up until he was playing for the French under teens and early 20s national teams, to eventually winning the World Cup in 1998, becoming one of the greatest players of all time and killing the game. From 13 years old, that's sacrifice. You leave home, you're like, I'm committing to this. This is the best. I'm going to the best. My parents are sacrificing everything for me to go to the absolute best at that time, best training grounds for any French footballer, right? Vieira came out of there, Petit came out of there, Trezeguet came out of there. Like, people we look at, we're like, wow, they've done amazing things, came out of there, right? What are you willing to do? Like sprinters. You come from Jamaica, my man. What are you willing to do?
What are you
to
willing
be
to do? Yeah.
what are you willing to do to get the, and it's not even a guarantee, but to get the chance of being like, oh wow, I'm in the final 100 meters, I could get a gold medal, this is my chance. how long does it take for you to get to that point? Now, do we have that kind of grit? Do our players have that grit? Have that? And that's what it is. It's that grit to say, hey, man, I'm so tired. I'm tired. I've been trying for the past 2 years. I'm 20. I don't
Or is it the
know.
baddies, bro? Maybe it's just the baddies. Maybe the baddies got
My
a
man,
lot on our footballers,
why? My man, let me tell
especially
you
in South
something.
Africa.
Ne? Let me tell you something. Ne? There's only so much a Slay Queen can offer me, my man. I'm just letting you know, dog. Hi, man. Ah,
Right,
I'm
right.
hey, but again, it's all about your personality. It's all about who you are and what you want as well, right?
Yeah,
Because to perform at that high level, it's stressful. I mean, Ronaldo says it all the time. Messi has mentioned it. My man, wherever you go, you are almost seen as a god, man. Like literally, like people literally see you and they physically can't believe that you're a real human being. Like
right,
you do that to people. That's not
right.
easy to man. That's not easy, bro. Now, of course, not everyone will get to that point, but that's not the point I'm making. Is that to get to any sort of level where people will look at you and be like that's something. You have to be willing to sacrifice more than you probably think you were either capable of or you needed to. Probably more than you thought. I think that's just a foundation of all success stories in sports. And I don't know. That's my part of the hot take. But in terms of the answer to your
Yeah,
question, I I,
yeah.
I wouldn't know.
So I've actually, because we're live, unlike, okay, I'm digressing here, but unlike other podcasts who claim that they're live and they actually just recorded the shit 2 weeks ago and just scheduled it as a premiere, we're actually live, right? So so we've shared the link of this um, episode with the two subscribers who have been so generous with their comments. So we've shared the link. Hopefully, they join the conversation before the episode ends, just to hear their viewpoints. I mean, I think one of them was a Pirates fan. That's why he said we'll be fine. And then the other one's talking about baddies. Maybe he knows something we don't, you know?
Facts. Maybe
So,
he's like, guys, I've seen it. I know what happens. I don't know.
you know what I mean?
Don't know.
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, man, Carling Cup, uh, big upset, but which then brings us to something else that probably the Chiefs fans will want to engage in, which is the quarters.
Bro, you're stressing me out, bro. This.
What do you mean?
I'm a Chiefs fan, Mos.
Oh, but then you must be happy because now you're gonna get revenge.
True. But they must just do the right thing, the boys. They must just do the right thing. They
What do you
must
think of the
just
fixtures?
play. They must just play good football. Play good football.
Well, I mean, they won 4-0 over the weekend.
Yeah, my man, they didn't play Sundowns over the weekend, Chief. It's not the same.
Wow. Super
It's
Sport is
not.
not a pushover.
It's not, but it's not Sundowns.
Okay, granted they had one man down, but I imagine
No, no,
I
no, no.
imagine
Listen,
the only reason they
no,
lost four is because they were one man down.
my man, I have no problem with Mazatlans. I'm just saying it's not Sundowns, Chief. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So basically Sundowns is the pinnacle of South African football. Probably a
At
lot of
this
people would
point, they
disagree.
are. At this point, I don't think anyone can argue. They haven't lost. They haven't lost. They're the best team in this country in the past 5 years, hands down, without a doubt. No one can compare. At the past 5 years, that Sundowns has won Champions League. They've won the leagues back to back to back to back to back. I guess on paper, I mean, fine, we can talk about money, but still, they still
So they,
perform.
they're the Bayern München of PSL.
100%. They're the Bayern Munich. They're the old lady. They're the Manchester United. They're the man at this point, the
Wow,
Man City right now. 100%.
Manchester United, my man, that team is 11th. Why are you disrespecting us like
No,
that?
I'm going back. I'm going back in time. but
Hey man, the young
but
kids
but
don't know that Manchester
as,
United. They know this Manchester United.
as they don't know, nah. This United, they're like, Mara, what do you mean this guy's just to win all the time?
And
How?
I can just imagine the conversations in the on the dining table in the living room. Dad, you say Man United was the greatest team in the world. Like, what are you talking about?
Ah!
Anyway, look, hey, we don't want to be cancelled. We are bashing. We are bashing. Hey, we are on a roll today. We're not bashing anyone. I think we are just
We're being
talking
honest.
our truth. We're speaking our
Yeah,
truth, right?
we're being honest. But no, but I'm saying like Sundowns for the past 5 years have easily been the the top of South African football by far,
Yeah,
by
yeah.
far. So
So should this fixture have been rather the final than the quarter, in your view?
um, I mean, it would be a
And are
nice
there other
final.
teams that, or are there other teams that could actually compete? Because sometimes we look at the badges and again go back into history, and say, oh, it's
Mm.
Chiefs Sundowns. Oh, okay, it's a big game. But in the context of the PSL or the reality of the PSL right now, when you look at those 8 teams, um, for me, the perfect final would be a Sundown Stellenbosch, because
I
Stellenbosch
was
are the only ones who are standing up to any of these teams.
I was about to say. I thought you were gonna say, or you're gonna ask me, you know, is this a big game now considering the most
Yeah,
recent years in PSL? And I
yeah,
was about to say, my man, the only team in the PSL that's doing something is Stellenbosch, chief.
right.
That's like doing some, not because just because they won, but like they they just look that good. They do. They look dangerous. They look like they're hungry. They look like they're playing for something. It looks like the remnants of what we said last week, where you just look at a team and you're like, no man, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it yet, but there's something.
Something.
that- Yeah, there's some energy. Like you watch, you're like, no man, these guys are playing football, man. What's going on? These guys are playing. And of course, let's not, I'm gonna bash infrastructure again, but it's true. Our pitches aren't the best. We don't even have enough cameras, and tech is, whatever. But and they're not the only team, right? Stellenbosch not the only team, but like Stellenbosch, really, really good. Sometimes I remember that season where Amazulu was just, hey, they were just unstoppable. There was that season
That
where they
was,
were just,
that was Billy McCarthy Amazulu, the one that got to
hey,
the
my
Champions.
man, hey, there was that point. Yeah, where you like, okay, since when, right? Um, and then yeah, man, and of course you can go back, of course, Pirates at some point, Chiefs and everyone, yeah, sure, sure, sure. But recently, yeah, man, Stellenbosch right now, man, look like the only team that would have the audacity to actually attempt to scare
Bust the
and
move.
yeah, and actually like, maybe like pump a fake and just like they give off that like the on the field, that's the personality I would associate them with.
Yeah, yeah.
That like that underdog that's not afraid to get in the fight. So that would be an amazing final because although most people will assume Sundowns will win because we're used to seeing them win, Stellenbosch is not an easy cat to take down. So yeah, but I think I think it's a good quarterfinal. I think it's a good quarterfinal. It'll be. I don't think it'll be an easy one. Because I mean these are two big teams as a footballing nation. These are two big teams, so it'll be a good game. But my heart, of course, always Amakos. They must just
They must learn how
you
to speak
know
Arab.
Yeah, man.
But it seems like
the bit,
the Arabic they're learning is quite cool because they're on form and they're scoring now, and a lot of people,
so
uh, yeah, a lot of people are saying, obviously the coach's impact, Gaston Serino, um, a few of the other signings, the young kids that have come up. Is it is it too early to judge?
yeah, man. I think it's too early to judge for a lot of things. I mean, even earlier, just to off a tangent, but similar. Uh, after Liverpool's win against Chelsea, they asked Slot like, "Hey, man, so do you think you're gonna manage to win the league, basically?" And I'm like, guys, it's been 8 games. What
Like,
are we doing?
my man, Sundowns fans were trying to kill Mangoba after the first loss he had. What do you mean?
That's
You
what
was
I'm.
there?
That's, I was
Like,
there.
yeah.
And it's literally it's literally just like, bro, like what are we doing?
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
especially you just started, whether it's a new coach or it's a new team, or both, God forbid both. Yo, new team, young players. It's a mixture for disaster. But yeah, man, I think guys, relax, calm down. It's 8 games, it's a young team. Relax. Now, of course, yes, you have to scrutinize how they play because they are playing at the highest level. Yes, they are, right? So you still have to perform. But I think some leeway it's acceptable to provide some leeway to say, okay, you know what, young team, or young coach, or new coach, big team. Slot is number one, although at one point he is number one. So
Well, look, there's a
they're not
jury.
playing badly.
There's a jury out on Slot's team, right? Granted, they beat Chelsea. Um, you could also say they beat Chelsea kids. You know, half of those guys are like under 25 or under 23. But the one of the I heard a Liverpool fan today in the UK saying that Slot hasn't changed anything since Klopp left. So my question is, why change something that's not broken?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
There's always this expectation or perception from us fans that when there's a new coach, all of a sudden do away with the old and come in with the new and new players, and that's why Liverpool fans were so frustrated in the transfer window because they were like, why aren't we buying anyone? You know. So
You
my
see,
thing is,
but also, you know, okay. I'm gonna bash fans for a second.
oh,
Nah.
okay.
So, and this is fans,
I hope that
including,
bashing gets us more subscribers, not less.
right? But especially us, though, right? Even
Yeah,
us,
yeah,
we follow this.
yeah.
We're all fans here. When the sun is out, we say, "Ish, it's too hot." And then when the rain comes, "Ish, it's too wet." And now it's cold now.
Mm.
And then the sun comes back. I want the sun. "Ish, it's too hot. It must cool down."
So we're never
So
satisfied.
we don't know what we want, right? If now, let's say Slot comes in. Okay, guys, new way, new formation. I'm buying players. I've got 4 new players. These guys can go. I'm selling. Yeah, this is my team. I'm the new guy, and they lose this first game. People gonna say
Again, it's like, what is
they're
he
gonna.
doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. Who are
Oh
these
my
players he's
goodness,
bought?
why? And then they'll say what you're saying. Why would you try and fix something that was broken when Klopp was here? Things were perfect.
Things
Why
were
did you
right.
sell that
Yeah,
guy? He was a
yeah.
good player. So it's a thing
Yeah.
of it's exciting. I think that's where it comes from. I think it's the excitement of new person. Oh, we're gonna see new faces. Oh,
Yeah.
there's gonna be new energy. Oh, it's gonna be so cool. I think it's a natural interest and desire to see that. But in reality, in the boardroom where money is involved and people's careers are at stake, chief, if something is working and you have
You
people
don't mess with it.
who got billions here, billions here on the phone. Billions, chief. They can decide your fate now, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, you're the new guy. Here's your couple of millions budget to buy. Do what you want to do, cool. And then you look at your system and you're like, hey man, this works most. And on top of that, I know how to integrate myself as the new coach into the system.
Yeah, because I mean,
That
it's been very clear with Liverpool. You can literally see Slot's influence in their composure. They're more composed now. They're not erratic like Klopp's Liverpool. Defensively, they're more mature. Yes, there were two passes in yesterday's game against Chelsea that that tore them apart. One of them ended up in being a goal. The other one, Jackson hit a crossbar pole, whatever. But if it was anyone better than Jackson, he probably would have buried it. But essentially, they are a little bit more mature defensively, right?
mm, mm.
But people are still not convinced about this Liverpool. Why would they not be convinced? They've won 10 out of 11 games this season. What more do you
Because
need? What more do you
it's
want to see?
it's just I mean it's biased, chief. They're so used to one guy for what 9 years.
9 years.
So it's like okay, and also it's also a thing of like, ish, you know, how long can you keep this up, right? It's always it's easier to be pessimistic than to have optimism and then suffer disappointment. So
Right, that's why.
it's easy.
That's why. Yeah, that's why you have negative Nancy's all over the place walking around.
It's easier to already think disappointment is coming, and then oh my goodness, we won. Wow. Yeah, but we can lose. Hey, we won. Hey, hat trick. Yo. Yeah, but now we're playing Tottenham. Hey, we won. Yeah, no.
So now, do you see what I was saying on Friday about Cole Palmer just having someone a little bit closer to him? You see how non-existent he was just by Curtis Jones being a little bit closer to him when he receives the ball. When he was literally nowhere. You know what I mean? The only joy that he got was when he drifted a little bit wide. But as soon as he
Mm.
got to the center, Jones on him. You know what I
So
mean?
again, he went from scoring 4 goals in one half to silence.
And hence my question on Friday was that like these guys are just watching this youngster just like literally just swerve through them. If you get closer, do a little bit of body work, he's not going to do anything. And mind you, Curtis Jones is not even a defensive midfielder. He's a number 8, and he still bottled
Mm.
Palm. So you can imagine if a
Mm.
number 6 is on him. Or
Ish.
is it just that it's after international break? Yeah,
Listen,
Enfield,
my man, you get paid hundreds of millions of pounds, chief.
there's no excuse, nah?
It's a shame. Sorry. The only excuse is injury, shame.
And to be fair, if you really are that good, these are the games where you show it.
Of course, because these are the games everyone is watching. Like, okay, can he replicate, or can we see some magic, or right? Because
Mhm.
it matters, big opposition, that kind of stuff. Of course.
It's
Now,
easy to
if
score 4 goals in one half against a mid-table team. Can you do that against the Chelsea? I mean, against a Liverpool or an Arsenal or a City?
now imagine, of course, it didn't happen, but hypothetical. Imagine if he scored a hat trick. You people are gonna be like, oh, he can do this like that. Like again, like you like, and you asked this last week. I remember you say you asked if it was a fluke, and I'm like, hey man, we'll see, but he doesn't do this regularly, and he didn't. Now, if he did, people will be like, oh, okay, now we'll say, yeah, but now he's gonna have pressure and stuff. My man, you play for one of the biggest clubs in the world. You play in the best league in the world. You get paid an
Okay,
absurd.
yeah, that's your opinion, right? The best league in the world.
I did this, Chief. I did this.
Oh, you did.
I did this. I did this, Chief.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
The,
What a
the
disclaimer. Okay.
the best league in the world, and you get paid an absurd amount of money, right? Because you are expected to perform at a certain level, right? And if you don't, of course, then you can get let go and that kind of stuff, right? So, right, and on top of that, you've got the eyes of you being English and these other elements, right, where there's attention, more attention to you, there's more scrutiny and stuff like that. You know, not all of it is fair, of course, but that's, I mean, life is not fair, so it is what it is. But yeah, with Cole Palmer, it's like, and any other uh, high paid, um,
Like
high
elite
attention
sports
footballer.
person. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all about performance. Now, that's why last season, now people are saying Bellingham might win Ballon d'Or type thing because at Madrid, he
Bellingham is punting himself for that. He's been posting stats on his IGs. Like
yeah,
this is what I'm saying. I'm okay with you owning it. But this is what these youngsters, it's all about this, like it's me. Yes, in football, your performance and your pedigree affects the team. But is it the case of he's taking from a Cristiano who was also owning his talent? Like, yeah, I'm the shit. I want to break all the records. I want to be the best goal scorer. Is it that, or is Bellingham? Is he, trying to force things? I mean, we all know he's a very good young player. He's great, right? For a player of his age. But I've never come across a Kaká, a Ronaldinho, a Messi, a Zidane, a Ronaldo, like the real Ronaldo, um, you know, put stats on their socials or wherever and say, "Hey, look at me! It's Ballon d'Or season." You know what I mean?
because, and I mean, apart from the fact that there was no social media like that, obviously, but apart from that
Yeah,
obvious
but they
fact,
could do it in press conferences and interviews and post.
yeah,
They could. You know what I mean?
no, you're right. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. The thing is, my man, Ronaldinho said Ronaldinho's debut, Chief.
Yeah,
I mean, we all saw that goal. I mean, I was a kid, but I mean, you saw that goal, Chief.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
debut. The point of being a football player and then being selected to play for a Barcelona, and I'm talking within that era of early 2000s to about like 2010s, right? If you played for Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Manchester United, Chelsea, uh, of course, Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, like, yeah, I mean, even Porto, Benfica, all these big clubs. The point of you knew how hard it was to get to the point where you're playing for those clubs, and then on top of that, you're going to play for your country on top of that as well, right? So, and again, it's taken so seriously at that level where, again, like Thierry said, when you're in that training camp and the cameras are on you, they scrutinize your touch in training to say, yeah, no, his first touches weren't good in training. Let's hope he can recover before the game. My man, how? It's Tuesday.
If
Diva.
you weren't
And then
good at
Wednesday,
training the whole week, you're not gonna play. As
you're
simple
not
as
gonna
that.
play, Chief, because you're not
Yeah.
good. Like it's not you're not good in training. You're not good, Chief. They didn't measure like, okay, but in training he was okay, but he played well because the coach gave him a chance. But man, if you're not good in training, you're not good. If you're not good in the game, you're not good. You're just not good. The expectation was so high when Ricardo Kaká was on that pitch, AC Milan and Madrid, in both occasions, but especially AC Milan. It was here, Chief. It was here. It was here. Like if he made a bad pass, hey, if Thiago Silva was a boy still, he was a young player still at that time. If he made one defensive error, people like you see why we don't have Brazilians. The last Brazilian, hey, now it's so hectic. Where now
Yeah.
because of the generation, I think as well. It's just man. It's cool, man. It's like I'm a footballer, I've got
Yeah, it's almost
swag.
like it's a cool thing. It's a thing that cool kids do. You know what
It's
I mean? Like,
cool. It's cool. And then also it's the British accent. It's how you dress. You know when they walk out the bus and then they've got the
it's the life
outfit.
out, it's the life outside the pitch, right?
It's the lifestyle that completes the experience, right? Some players know how to do the two. So an example I would give would be like who can do both. Like let's say if you're gonna consider last season, would be Jude Bellingham, right? On the pitch, you can't deny it. Majority was last season. He was good. Last
Oh
season
no,
he
he
played.
was he was awesome last season, 100%.
He,
He was
he was
grounded.
great.
He had work
He
great. He had heart. He had
he
fight.
did his
He had
thing, right?
all the good things that our South African players need every day.
Right? He had it. But at the same time, you see him there on the boats or the car or traveling. He's got the cool clothes on, jet, cool pictures with his brother, whatever, whatever. Like, hey, he's living the life is cool. And hey, when I watch him play, he kills it, right? Rodrigo, what's that defender's name? From like I can't remember his name now for some reason. But
What about Hakimi, dog? I mean, Hakimi. Uh, Obviously, we know his story. I mean, he
oh
he. I mean, he's
it-
obviously very wealthy. But the point is, that wealth
no
doesn't
no no
matter to
no
him.
no 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 no
What?
no his mom
What?
is difference. No, his mom is
I was
wealthy.
about to get there, but
His mom is wealthy.
right. So I mean,
Yeah.
for him to be able to do that, yes, I get the fact that
Yeah.
they did that because when he got signed, I think for Madrid, he was still young. So obviously, his mom had to
Mm.
be the guardian. But obviously, he got older. He got 21. He didn't say, "Hey, mom, give me my shit back." He stayed humble. You know what I
That's
mean?
culture, chief. That's culture and
Culture,
family.
okay. The way he was
Yeah,
raised
that's culture and family rules, chief, and foundation. Yeah, that's
and
that's
discipline.
that's pure culture. Yeah, that's culture. So yeah, man. Look, at the end of the day, back in the day, you played football because that was your in or your out, and I think the love for the football superseded the lifestyle that it provided you. Right? The lifestyle was a bonus. Like, oh yeah, now I get
Yeah,
to now.
yeah,
It was just
yeah.
like, oh damn, now I get to do this now because
Now the
But you
football
didn't.
is a bonus.
Yeah, now you're like, no man, I'm actually good at this football thing. Let me get there so that I can live this
Let me
lifestyle.
sign a nice professional contract. Even if I'm on the bench, it's all right. I'm
It's
still
cool, you
munching
know,
this dough.
and I'm living my best life. That's what I honestly think. I think that it's starting to shift, like, and that's why, you get guys being signed for, I mean, Moses Caicedo being signed for 100 and something million. I mean, he's not bad, but 100, my man,
Look,
I
my man,
can name.
I'll tell you one thing about Caicedo, right? He was 100 times a better player at Brighton than
Of
he is
course,
at Chelsea.
I I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
Right now, he just looks clumsy. He looks like he's uncomfortable. He can't trap a ball. Okay, fair enough. The two passes I spoke about that were passed to Jackson through the Liverpool central defense, that was him, right? But that's only because he had no pressure. He literally was alone by himself in the center, and all Jackson does is do a little diagonal run across the two defenders, this space. And if you're good enough, you'll score. If not, you won't. You know what I mean? But
My
yeah,
man,
yeah.
my man, my man, 100 million.
And again, I was looking at Lavia. Lavia was the other one that Liverpool wanted so badly, and he was also going for close to those amounts. He was average, honestly. Okay, fair enough.
Um,
Injuries and all of this, but dude, for me, he was he's like even Enzo. Besides the fact that he's racist, he's average. I don't see anything. Maybe the
my
racism
man,
is it's too much of a burden.
listen, man, I'm gonna say this. I'm
You
gonna
know,
say
see,
this.
racism is not a laughing matter, all right? Racism is real, dog.
It's real and it's disgusting, but
Yes,
yeah, it's
yeah.
yeah, that situation was crazy. But like, bro, okay, let's look at. So now we've made those examples: Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, and there's a bunch of them. Now, within the generation, let's say specifically, I'm gonna use 2003
2003. Hey, my man, where were
to
you in 2003?
I was 3, but listen, from 2003 from 2003
Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah.
to 2007, 2006, 2007. That era of football, you are telling me that none of those midfielders, I'm talking Zizou, I'm talking Ricardo Kaká when he was stepping up, I'm talking, Rivaldo, I'm talking, I mean, even Guti was, he was doing his thing. I'm talking
Yes, like you stopping it at
Seedorf.
2007. I'm going all the way to 2009, excluding. Oh no, no, yes, including the Champions League revenge against Liverpool, 2005. Let's skip 2005 because Istanbul was there. But
Okay.
you're right. I mean,
So,
your Zavis, your Iniestas, your Gutis,
Chief. So,
right,
so my
your
point is
Redondos.
Redondo, like your I mean, even bro, even like your Simaus, your Rui Costas, your I mean
Seedorfs.
Clarence Seedorf, bro. Like even if you go a slightly further, your what's his name? Your Nakatas, right? Your Japanese,
Hidetoshi Nakata.
your Nakatas,
That was a very very special player there.
right? So we just named a few, and there's so many. There's so many incredible footballers, right? You are telling
Shinji
me,
Nakamura. Now, if we go in Japanese, I'm gonna remind you Shinji Nakamura.
Chief. Now you're telling
That
me,
left
man,
foot was sweet.
it was different, different. So
Mm.
now you're telling me, out of all of these guys, you're telling me to my face that Moses Caicedo is worth more than all of them.
But we all know that the English Premier League will always inflate their numbers because they think they're the best, and they. I mean,
I, I, I,
I
I'm.
was saying to some friends of mine that
Mm,
the reason people believe that the English Premier League is the best. Okay, well, okay, let me put it this way. People believe Premier League is the best, right? I say Premier League is the most commercialized, and it's the one that pays the most premium wage. If it wasn't for those two things, I don't know. I don't know.
listen, I'm just saying purely excluding leagues, excluding marketing, excluding funding. From a footballing perspective, the fact that we've gotten to a point where we can convince clubs and the deals that are being made is like no,
It's just ridiculous,
uh,
isn't it?
it's like 100 million for someone. So you're saying he was better than you're saying he was better than Guti, he was better than Redondo, he was better than Xavi, he was better than Iniesta, he was better than Scholes, he was better than Zizou, he was better than Vieira, he was better than Petit, he was better than none of those guys in today's money. Yeah, sure, they'd be Zidane would be like 300 million by
Yeah,
today's
of
money.
course, easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
easily. But I'm saying from just a pure quality standpoint, quality football, quality player, how the game was at the time to how it is now, and then subsequently how much plays in general, because it's all over. Players are being bought for, defenders being bought for 60 million and stuff like that. I'm sorry, my man. When Maguire was bought, I was like, my man, you are not better than Ricardo Carvalho. I'm sorry, you're not. I'm just saying, like you're literally in every metric not better than him, and that's why. So it's like,
And because he's English, he never mind the premium wage and the premium transfer fees, but because he's English, they put another cherry on top of that and make him even more premium.
chief, and you're like, guys, listen. I'm just going off pure quality. There are many defenders. There are not many defenders who are better than Maldini. They're not many. Maybe none. Maybe. I mean, some people say Franz Beckham. Maybe some people say Franz Beckenbauer because he invented the sweeping, like back a day.
But but
Well,
but those players that you're talking about, they're from a different era. The defenders now, if you're a fullback like a Maldini was, if you don't know how to attack like a Wan Bissaka, you're not gonna
listen.
top that
li-
threshold of elite footballers.
Okay. So I hear what you're saying, man. The era is different, right? But the sport is still the same.
Of course.
So just because Schumacher was in a different era in Formula One doesn't mean Verstappen mustn't prove himself. You get what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, no, but it was a different era when Ronaldinho was playing. Plays were not as this and this and this. Okay, it's true, right? Cars are better than they were 10 years ago, bro. Not even 50, 10 years ago.
I mean, I still say our generation of, or the experience our generation had of football, when you look at the amount of brilliant footballers they were in one generation
Hmm.
compared to this generation, you can literally count who are the stars, right?
I agree.
In the previous generation, you just named a whole bunch of magicians, and we
Hmm.
weren't even done yet.
I just started.
And all of those guys were playing in the same era. So, coming from a guy like me, when I compare the two generations of football, the two eras of football, I
Mm,
think
and
we had a much
and and
a
and
much
and,
better
and you're lucky
experience.
because you lived through both. You're
Yeah,
living through.
you
Mm.
know what I mean. So I feel like we had a much better footballing experience in the times of your Zizous, your Ronaldos, your Messis, your Xavis, Iniestas. I mean, even your Philip Cocu's, your Yaya Torres, your Del Pieros, your Edgar Davids, your man, your Cambiasos, your Zanettis. Like you see, and these are players that you have not mentioned,
Mm.
and they all played in the same era. In this era, well, who do you count? Okay, there's Bellingham, there's Mbappe, there's Haaland, there's Foden. Um,
De Bruyne.
yeah, but De Bruyne is on the other side of
Mm.
30, so we're not talking about. I'm talking about people in their prime, right?
Oh,
People who are either superstars now at their peak and or about to be superstars. Whereas, man, Kevin's been doing it for years, man. I mean,
yeah,
he's been
true.
doing it for years. That's why he is Kevin to us, right? But the generation of today, everybody thinks they're a star, but when you really look at it, there's only a few celestial beings in this generation.
So okay, so it would be Bellingham, Haaland, Mbappe, Vinicius,
Ego maybe, Foden,
Oh,
maybe. Rodrigo,
okay.
Madrid,
Rod
Brazilian Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, okay.
You can
Foden,
say Rodri from
possibly.
City as well, although he's also like what, late 20s now.
Yeah, but I think he's been playing very well. Prime, almost prime.
I mean, he's a consistent superstar. It's not like a superstar like I'll choose when to play, or if the crowd boos me, oh now I'm a suck, or if my teammates don't pass me, oh okay now I'm not returning back to defend. People like Rodri for me he's an old football soul, just just purely on how he plays his football. You can see
yeah,
this guy is focused. He's even when he talks to his teammates, you can tell that yeah, this is an old soul. You know what I mean? It's not a. Have you ever seen Caicedo talk to his guys? It's like, guys, come on, let's. What is it? All he ever talks to is the referee, and okay, I know maybe I'm losing the plot here a little bit, but I just feel like, hey man, this generation of footballers, bro, something's not right.
I would say part of it, not the whole thing, but part of it would be the whole lifestyle. The lifestyle potentially gets you into the game, right? So I think they want to become footballers for the lifestyle,
For the
partially.
lifestyle, not for the football.
Yeah, for the lifestyle that it gives you. But then, of course, you get in, and then you want to maintain the lifestyle, so you have to play. You get it? So I think it's more
Yeah,
like,
you don't necessarily have to play. You just gotta have a contract.
yeah, no, I'm saying, but like you have to keep that contract. So like when they do play, you must make sure something happens in Ghana. Maybe something you can do something so that
Yeah,
you so you
apparently,
may.
yeah. Choose your games.
Yeah. Hey, you don't like that guy, ne? Hey, when
I don't like players
see,
that choose games, right?
now you're
I don't
making
like
my
players that
camera.
I don't like players that
Mm.
choose games because you not only are you disrespecting the game, but you're disrespecting yourself as a footballer. It's like me going to work tomorrow and deciding not to do anything at work because I don't feel like it. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
hear you. I hear you. Now
Yeah,
look,
but anyway,
but yeah.
uh, yeah, okay. Let's come here. So these guys, um, so apparently, well, not apparently, Jude Bellingham was throwing his toys in this game versus Celta over the weekend,
Mm.
and there's this thing that during the Euros he was throwing his toys at his teammates. Is it a case of he's now believing the hype and thinks he's the shit, or he's genuinely trying to push his teammates to win?
I mean, I wouldn't. It's one outburst. I think it didn't seem like an outburst that came from like, oh, you didn't give me the ball type of thing. Uh, I think it's I think it's pressure. I think pressure has a lot to do with it, right? I
He
don't
lashes
think
out at his teammates.
yeah, I mean, I don't think he doesn't know or he's unaware that when you say, I think I'm worthy of the Ballon d'Or, people are gonna be like, okay, let's see. Like, I don't think he's that unaware to be like, okay, now that I've put this out there, people are gonna be like, okay, my man, okay, no, 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 no. Let's, you must confirm it now. Don't mess around now. Don't not perform. And football is a team sport. So if the team doesn't play well, you might not play at your best. So I think the way I took it was, come on, guys, come on, like guys, like. But it came to me. It came across from a place of like there's something deeper, like within him, like, hey man, guys, like we can't be like the pressure's on, guys. The
So
pressure's on
it's,
because
it's, it's that will to win,
yeah, like we
heart,
like
that
we can't. The bar is too high. The
yeah.
bar is too high. I am, for individual, I am Bellingham, and then we are Madrid, and it's like the pressure, the eyes, you can't lose this game. How, you have to perform at the high level every single time. Your training is scrutinized before the game. Like it's such a, the room for error is so small that, and also he is a crucial part of the team. So and I think he knows that. I'm sure Ancelotti's told him, "Oh man, I need you. You're very important to this team," and that puts a lot of pressure on individuals. So I think it has a role to play. So to me, it came across as like a guys, hey, guys,
Let's get in there.
like, yo, we're not taking chances. We're not doing, what we usually do. We're not doing it. So what's the holdup? What's wrong? What's going on?
Does that make the mark of a future captain? Maybe if that's the if
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I think so. I don't know. I don't know for how long, because it's all about, a good captain has great BMT, has
Of
great
course,
BMT.
they have to. Yeah, they
You
have to.
have, you have to, because you have to be the calmest one in the stadium. You have to be
You
the
have to
calmest,
lead. You have to lead by example. Yeah.
right? You have to be the calmest one in the stadium. So uh, I don't know if he has that. I haven't seen anything that would suggest he couldn't or doesn't. I haven't seen that. So I guess only time will tell. But it is a sign of seeing the gaps as a player and seeing the faults within your team and trying to rally them on is I think is a natural um, trait of a potential captain. Let me say potential, because he might not want to be, right? I guess he might be like, hey, I don't want that, which yeah, of course he's entitled to.
He doesn't play for Man
Uh,
United. Man United players are the only ones who refuse captains.
my man. Well, it can be refused. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna open that can of worms when you're dangerous. I'm not gonna open that can of worms.
I'm just saying, dog. I'm just saying.
Hey man, but yeah, man, I think it's a mark of that. I think it was just frustration. It looked like frustration to me. That's all. I don't think it's him being like, oh guys, come on, like you're making me look bad. Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Okay. All right. No. Fair enough. Fair enough. So obviously we spoke about your team, but we didn't necessarily speak about the game as such. We we went on a Haaland tangent.
Yeah.
Um, if this incident here was in South Africa, would it have been an offside?
No,
Okay. Let me rephrase. Would it have been judged offside
no,
in South Africa?
no,
Why do you say no?
because it would be the equivalent of Sundowns losing a game. Can't happen.
No, but I mean, if you think of the controversy with the Sundowns offside, and you look at the technicality behind this particular incident where uh, your teammate is tight against the goalkeeper of the opposition, right? He's in an offside position, right? He's not
Mhm.
interfering with play in any way. But as soon as the ball sort of gets into play and is about to be played or headed towards goal, he moves away from the keeper and he ducks, right?
Mm.
Now, we don't have VAR in the country.
Yeah.
So I ask again, do you think this decision would have been offside or not?
No,
Wow, you have faith in your referees in South Africa.
I don't. I just think they would look at this and be like, it's fine. Because
So he
my
wouldn't
my
have been
re-
judged offside. Never mind the obstructing the keeper. Just the offside on its own.
the 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 reason why I say no isn't because of rules, because of the arm to the shoulder ratio. No, no, no. I'm not even considering rules. By what we know we are capable of, yes, it'd probably be offside. Like before he even gets to head of the ball, doesn't count. But I know that when it's the last minute, Chief, and the big team is gonna lose, Chief, or they're not gonna win. Uh-huh.
Oh, you.
Sometimes, you know,
Wow.
sometimes the linesman is gonna I know, it's fine. Sometimes you'll just close an eye, but it's my opinion.
Okay.
But if it was if it was a type of game where rules are rules and it is what it is, yeah, it'll be offside. It'll be offside because of the extension, and when the ball was kicked, his his knee was already
It
slanted
was,
in the direction. Yeah,
it
it
was
was
already
already slant.
going down. Yeah.
Yeah, his knee was already slanted, so that would constitute as an offside. But I think without VAR, if it was just like a proper ruling, like, hey, my man, this was over in front of the defender, offside is offside. But I think this type of game, 95th minute, Chief. I think
Yes.
I I
Yes.
I I, I think there was gonna be a young, you know, just just a young, you know.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
But
No, that's cool. No, that's cool. Wow, we've literally gone 2 hours, Chief.
what? Yeah.
That's a record for our virtual or our new virtual episodes. This is the third one. I'm loving these.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay,
I like it.
so this coming weekend we've got some really cool special things. Friday, something's happening. It might not be virtual Fridays as per normal. Just look out for them socials, and then Sunday we will be somewhere where we will
Uh,
announce on the day. But
Somewhere.
it's yeah, it's all in the spirit of making the podcast more accessible, giving it more variety of opinions, and yeah, not being a typical. If we have a guest, how was your life? When did you start kicking a ball? I started kicking a ball when I was 2 years old. When my grandfather gave me the number 10 jersey. And
Are you offside, bro? You're
okay, my
offside,
bad, my
bro.
bad, my bad. But yo, yeah, check out the socials during the week. We got some really cool shit happening this weekend. We've got
Yeah.
2 episodes this weekend, Friday
Hmm.
and Sunday, and I think we're gonna rekindle our Sunday episodes. Um, yeah, it's gonna be really cool. We're gonna have a lot of content to speak about. Um, our virtual episodes. I think we will encourage more fans to come join. We'll share the link, and then you guys can join. So yeah, we were trying it out today. Clearly, the other two subscribers had cold feet. Um, it's okay. It's all right. I mean, nowadays, bro, you can get canceled for anything. So maybe they don't want to be canceled.
Gosh, maybe they're gonna tell the truth and then that's it. Game over.
Yeah, well, yeah. Me, I don't really care, man. Cancelled, not cancelled. I'm still alive. I'm still here, and we're still football fans at the end of the day. We are not
Correct.
pundits. We have no coaching licenses. We have no referee licenses. We are
No,
not part of any technical team. We don't own clubs. We are just pure fans.
my man, look at me. I'm drinking tea, Chief. This is a mug. I'm a normal person, me.
Normal people, eh?
Normal
Normal
guy.
average Joe.
Exactly. Exactly.
No,
No, but yeah, man, guys, watch out for some cool stuff. Yeah, we just want to make things different for you guys. And yeah, man, we don't want to be a uh, um, typical football sort of space. We want to be the type that is for the fans. And fans, and the nice thing about football is that it's everywhere. So Eventually, yes, yeah,
and everybody can have an opinion. Doesn't mean everything
exactly.
that we've talked about in the past 2 hours doesn't mean that we are right. It's just our
No,
opinion, and that's
and
why
and
we're
and
always encouraging people.
and we're not afraid to say, actually, guys, I know what I said on Monday. I was wrong, or you know
I was
what,
wrong. Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
wrong because almost I'm a human being and we love to have our opinions, right? There's someone who like our Haaland chat in the beginning will be like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Haaland is the greatest thing ever. He makes no mistakes. He's perfect, and here's why. And it can be
No,
valid.
no,
You can be like, you know what?
watch the Pirates fans come for me.
No, 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 oh no, no, no. That's
Oh, then
why
you
me, I
cry.
was. That's why
No,
I gave my long
no,
analogy and said, I
you're
gave
just an
my. I'm like,
innocent bystander.
I was like, kings and queens. I was giving my, and I was
Hey, you
giving
were
poetry. You know what I'm
philosophical
saying?
and yeah, no, I think Pirates and Sundowns fans, if they see this episode, they'll definitely come for me.
When,
Guys, please,
when
I'm
they
just a
see it.
human being, right? I'm just a human being. I don't know how to fight. Okay. Um, when you see me in the streets, please don't come at me. All right.
I'm just a guy.
You know, the least
Oh
you can do
man.
is the least you can do is give me a football to juggle. That's about as much violence I can take. Give me a football to juggle and do some tricks.
Ah,
that's
guys,
that's
I
about it.
this guy to check is crazy.
Yo,
Hey,
dude, so we'll see you this weekend, Friday. Check out the socials. Sunday, we are in a really, really cool studio. Check that out. We'll give you info about that. And
yeah,
don't forget to right. Don't forget the league is still there's code on our socials. It's on. Join the league. There's
it's there.
24
It's there for you
24
guys. It's
teams
there for you
now,
guys.
right? Yeah, there's 24
Yeah.
teams now, and
Mm-hmm. It's correct.
it's more than last season. But let's keep them coming because as soon as we get a sponsor, y'all are gonna get prizes and shit, and y'all don't want to miss that because they're gonna be really really cool prizes.
I mean, the prize that last season's winner got was pretty fire. Just say.
And this is without a sponsor.
Just say it was heat. I mean, there were trophies, like it was crazy. So you know what I mean? So hey, but I think yeah, man, guys, just watch out and when the time comes, it's gonna be different. Because it'll be nice to have at least like 100 to 200 teams on the fantasies and stuff like that, which of course we can get
That would be
easily.
really cool. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would
and
be
we can get
really
that easily, man. Who doesn't play fantasy, guys? Come on. So just join. The code's there. It's quick. It's like five letters, whatever the hell. It's easy,
that's it.
and
You know,
it's quick, man. And just join. And yeah, I moved up. I mean, I'm not happy with my weekend. I'll be honest, but you know, it is what it
that
is.
happens with your
So
weekend.
well on fantasy, bro. Because I mean, Haaland didn't
What,
give me
what happened?
points. Saka, I forgot to swap out Saka. Keane scored. He's on the bench. I was just like, you know what? I'm good.
We've got we actually have a new number one. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me show you this shit. We have
Oh
a new
goodness.
number one.
Do we?
Yeah, just give me a second, bro. Let me show you this.
Do we?
We have Kai Lee,
Oh, okay.
but that's weird. He only had 44 points.
Bro,
Oh,
he's a G.
that's the low
He's a
scoring.
bro. I got like 60, bro. I got like 67 points.
You're not even in the top five. What's wrong with you?
Hey man, leave
Okay,
me
fair
alone,
enough. You're in
bro.
the top 10. But remember, these
At least
the league as it is right now, it hasn't been updated because
because
Palace
of
was
the game,
Forest. Yeah, yeah, because of the.
the game today. Yeah.
So we'll
Let's
see
see.
what changes. Let's see if you are in the top five or not. But
Ish.
yeah, this is the top 10. Yeah, I'm nowhere near the top. Yeah, I know. I've had a shit 2 weeks in fantasy league, but it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, you have. You have to be fair. Sorry
Qualification
about that.
means letting go, right? defecation means letting go. So next week, hopefully, we'll have something really cool.
Nice, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's been great. I love this episode. This was really cool. 2 hours, man. Okay, we may have waited what 10-15 minutes. I guess the 2 hours made up for that 15 minutes.
Yeah, guys, like, it happens, guys. Happens.
Yeah. I know
But
we live and we learn. Uh, we are fans. We are not pundits. There's no crew behind us. There's no cameraman. There's no producer. All of this
Chief,
is by ourselves.
we're normal people who unfortunately like this sport a bit too much for our health. So
Yeah.
so that's why we're here. That's the truth.
So sad.
That's the
So
truth.
sad.
We like this sport too much, man. But it's no, it was a cool episode, man. Thank you for having me. And Friday. See you again on Friday, brother.
See you again on Friday. Peace.
Appreciate you.